if it's unlisted, oh, I have to be careful. If it's unlisted, they can access it. It's not password protected, but it's not searchable.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
It's private, and except for the people that have the link.
Correct.
Ooh, okay. Very good. Hi, Anne. Welcome.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Anne.
Hi.
Anne.
A working clock. Okay. Well, we have these first few minutes, or 10 minutes or so, are good for getting to know each other a little bit. When we meet in person, we always have a gathering time where we have wine and all kinds of snacks, and so you guys are on your own for whatever's in your fridge.
Oh, yeah.
I'm at the mercy of the. But it's a chance to network a little bit or get to meet someone you haven't met before. And so Heidi Davis.
Hi.
I see you on there. Would you, I don't know you, can you tell us a little bit more, I don't know you very well, about yourself?
I'm Gretchen's sister.
Oh,
I live in Portland.
awesome.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, that
Invited
means you're
me
cool.
to see.
He's an amazing visual. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm
Has
an
she
oil
always done
painter.
Okay. Oil.
Very good.
Sorry, I don't know whether you can hear me or not.
Where do you live?
I live in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what's great about this. We can really bring together people from all over, and that's why we're so lucky to be able to have Meggan with us tonight. You know, so she didn't have to make that long drive. Okay, and Seth, welcome. He's muted. Oh, no, unmute. Okay.
I'm Gretchen and also Heidi's nephew. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Seth.
Well, welcome.
Hi, Heidi and Gretchen.
Hi.
It's good to get to meet you. Terrific. So where do you live? Are you?
I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, wow. Okay. We're really all over the map. Let's see. Over there. Okay. And then, okay. Hey, Margot, why don't you tell us what's going on with the show, your show?
Stormy.
Stormy.
Well, I'm not sure which platform we'll be using to for the show, but it will be October the 3rd. We have 2 performances so that Kay's friends in the UK can also watch without having to stay up till 2 in the morning. And I think we might have one on the 4th as well, but for sure on October the 3rd. So we're rehearsing and making videos, and it'll be she's calling it a bricolage, which is kind of like a big mashup of different kinds of video footage and things like that. So it's fun. We're having a lot of fun. It's a lot of work.
Send information to Haley for the newsletter so it can go out in the September newsletter. And then if we need to repeat it in the October one too, depending on what your dates are.
Oh, okay. What's the deadline for the newsletter? Did I miss it?
You can go ahead and send it to me. September's is fine. And I'm doing my best to just put in whatever I get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the newsletter has been a great resource. It's been packed with a lot of information. And so, and now that, you know, without meeting in person, it's even more important to share things through the newsletter. So anybody has things, send them along. Okay. Darlene, are you related to Gretchen too?
Yes, I am. No, just a friend of Gretchen's, but yeah, kind of quilt sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Gretchen is the drinking word tonight, right?
Oh.
Just a what?
We had a drinking game last month with my name. So
yes.
All right.
Gretchen.
So now
we
it's
missed
Gretchen.
3 chances. Take 3 sips.
Okay. There's Corey, ready to roll. Okay, and now we have Rona and Pam Davis. Oh, good. So, and hi, Janet. Yep. I'm sorry for the confusion on the Echo Fund. Yeah, we do have Echo Fund entries. It's partly my fault because I didn't really know on Excel you can click on a little thing and it tells you more stuff. So, okay, I'm Melody, you're so tricky. So anyway, no, so it's gonna be a good drawing, and I meant to get out the 2 boxes. We have 2 special boxes that we use every year. I don't know whether Corey designed those or who. She inherited them from a previous president, but we have the traditional boxes that we draw the names from, and that will be next month. Okay, that September meeting, we'll do it as part of that, just a little side. So if you have gotten an email from me, you are eligible, and if you haven't gotten a follow-up one saying I got it, I'll do that tomorrow. So but no, we're getting some good entries in, so that's good. Anyone want to share?
Sure.
What's up?
Like news, and so 2 of my art lessons are up on the Blaffer website. The 3rd one will be live starting Saturday at 2 o'clock. First one, it was watercolor techniques. The second one was printmaking using a styrofoam plate. You know, like you can buy it, but just one you cut from a real plate or a meat tray. And the 3rd one is actually going to be Play-Doh. So if you have any grandkids or something, or kids, it'll be a lot of fun. And it's sculpture oriented. And you can find it on the Blaffer new website on Zoom. And it was like,
okay.
They're also on their Facebook page, I think.
Okay, very good. Is anyone using a platform other than Zoom to do presentations? I'm just curious on what. I know Donna does, well, she'll be teaching YouTube, so she does YouTube, but what other programs people are using, so.
Yeah, Lee, we have WebEx at my college.
Oh. Never mind.
Great endorsement, yeah.
If I compare WebEx to Zoom, it doesn't compare. It's not intuitive, and it's more difficult to use. And you can't do the breakout rooms. You have to. Yeah. I don't recommend it.
I've been around forever.
I've used Teams, and I don't like Teams either. Teams is through Microsoft, and I know Skype is supposed to have a group thing, but I have not been. I didn't like the way Skype worked anymore on that too.
Fatima Donaldson, can you hear me? Fatima Donaldson uses GoToMeeting for our Art Nexus meetings. I don't know anything about that. It's probably a paid service for business. I don't know anything about it. Everybody else has been using Zoom, including we filmed those workshops in Zoom. They just are on YouTube now.
Okay, yeah, you can record it and then put it on there. Janet, do you have something to say?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Taking me a while.
Okay. I wondered about because Fresh Arts just used Facebook Live for their virtual conference that they had, the virtual summit.
But that's one-way communication.
Oh.
Right. So with Zoom, we can interact. Facebook, because my church uses that also, and we don't get to we don't get to talk back.
Okay. All right. On the Facebook Live, you can do chat and do emojis or whatever, but you can't have because that's going to make a difference on our programs. Right. Okay. Any other comments? And then we're going to go ahead. We have a couple of board members who are going to make announcements, because I'm happy to report after those slow kind of months, things are picking up again, and we've got a few things going on. So June Lane, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Yep, yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Lane, I think most of us are going to have birthdays like yours. I was kind of feeling for the people in March and April, and then, you know, my birthday was in June, and, you know, it's just like, I think we're all going to have something in common.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't believe in the birthday or the birth week. It's the birth month. This is why we celebrate
Yeah, I'll go with that.
every year. Hey, not November, it's Leavember. So I get 30 days. So I highly recommend that you just take the whole month and just spread it around. All right. So Lane,
I recommend
you got a couple weeks left.
Costco that you can get on mail order. Very
Say
good.
that again, June.
Chocolate cake from Costco.
I actually had a pretty good cake I made myself. It was good. It was about this tall, 3-tier, 3 layers, like a little baby wedding cake.
Oh,
it was fun.
I think I had those same cake pans.
Yeah, they're neat. They're really good.
Hard
to frost, though.
It made me a Dobish tort.
Oh.
Yeah, it made me a Dobish tort for my birthday. And
I would like
we
that.
brought in restaurant food from a nice restaurant. So
Very
that was our
nice.
celebration.
Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead with a few minutes of announcements, and then we'll get on to our program. So thanks for your patience. Marie, can we start with you? And you and Melody have been working, but can you describe what's been going on with the virtual gallery for WiVLA and explain it to anyone who hasn't heard about it yet?
Sure. Melody, did you want to go first, and then I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
You're going to introduce it and then pass the baton to me.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that you all noticed in the newsletter in August that we now, and at the last meeting, that we're going to have a virtual gallery for WiVLA members. So the visual artists will be able to have what you might call a typical gallery, and that you have images of visual art, whether it's 3D or 2D. But performance and literary artists can have either a picture, if it's a relatively short number of words, say like 250, a image of the text, or you can have maybe a representative image that then you can click on and then go to, say, YouTube for a reading or something like that. And performance can have something similar where you have an image and then be able to access a YouTube video. So it's a cool opportunity to show your work. There's some very nice social media features of the gallery platform that we're using, and that we can promote it, you can promote it using the tools. And what I'm hoping that we can do, and where's Marie? There's Marie, is that we can work out maybe a little instructional video for the members on how they can share information about their art. Anyway, I want to make sure, and I'm going to try to share real quick. Oh, why can't I find it?
I think you have to put your mouse on the screen.
No, I found the sharing. I'm just not finding my like WiVLA. Here we go. Okay, so let me go back and choose. Here we go. So on the home page of WiVLA, you'll notice that there's a large image of the virtual gallery, and right here is a little link, and you click that link and it takes you to a form that you can complete. And we really would like to have people, artists ready to show for the October 1st, which will be the first real opening of our gallery. And Marie's going to explain to you what we're doing for September, but we're really looking for you to start signing up for exhibition periods, and they're 2-month periods. So it'd be like October, November, December, and January, February, March, and so forth. Okay. So with that, I'm going to, any questions?
We'll ask Marie questions.
What?
Let's
Yes,
let
Marie?
Marie talk and then we'll ask
Okay.
questions.
Okay. Go ahead, Marie.
So what we're doing for the month of September, and the plan is to have it up and running by September 1st, is that our test run will be the whole month of September, and we will be featuring works by board members. And that'll be our trial run. That'll give us a chance to work out any kinks and, you know, any glitches. I myself have already done 2 on my own. I signed up for the platform, and I'm using it myself. So with this second one that I just put out last week or the week before, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it. So, but it does take some time. And so we're doing a test run, and I will be working on it and featuring the work of board members. Be on the lookout for that. We'll be featuring it. We'll send the link to everybody so you can check it out. On mobile devices, you do need to download the app. But if you view it on your desktop or your laptop, your desktop or laptop, you don't have to download the app. You can just view the image. And actually, I prefer to view it on my iMac, because then I can view it full screen. And since I'm a perfectionist when I'm designing it, I want to look at you know, the placement on the walls and the distance between pieces and all that. So I'll be the person working all that out. And so we'll let you know exactly what we want from you when you apply. And when you are selected, we would like to have the images by the 15th of the previous month. That'll give us a couple of weeks to get it up and going. And also how to label or how to name your visual files so that we have all the information when you submit. And of course, if we need to contact you for details and things like that, like description, media, or medium, and all sorts of things. But I think it'll be great. I'm very happy with mine. I've sold pieces. And not only can you promote it, WiVLA will promote it, and exhibit.com promotes as well. So you have, you know, you have people from everywhere have access to your images, and that's the beauty of it. More exposure than if you were showing in, say, just a local gallery.
And also, if somebody, you know, clicks on your image, they can get other information, such as a link to your website, right? So one thing I don't know if I mentioned, and I think it was probably in the newsletter, is that depending on the wall option that you can get anywhere between 5 and 9 images at a time for visuals and visual artists, and then 2 for literary. And so it's not just one image. So the test run that we're doing for the board, each of us just provided an image, just like she said, to get the kinks out, because as soon as you start this practice run, we've already found things that we need to do.
Yeah.
Additional guidelines that we need to set to make it easy for everybody.
I'd like to say that I'm really grateful to Melody and Marie and Gretchen for bringing this whole program to our attention, because by doing this exhibit.com thing, we're not only giving our members a chance to show their work through WiVLA and this kind of platform, you're getting the training on how to do this platform so that then you can get your own subscription at some point, like Marie's done, and just go for it on your own. So you're getting the really kind of on-the-job training on this. Marie or Melody, would you explain how the process works? Because who pays and how do they reserve time, and have we worked that out yet?
So the form will has an a drop down where you select your preference for when you show. And the amount that you pay is based on your tenure of membership. So it can be as little as $10 for the 2-month period, as much as what, $20? I mean, it was, you know, so it's like either $5 a month or $10 a month. The exhibition period is 2 months. So it's a really nominal fee for all the work that you're getting. And really, I've got one of these also. And there's a bit of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to lie. And so it's a nice perk of your membership that somebody is doing this for you. Like she said, you know, if you want to down the line have your own, that's great. But by all the things that we have to provide, and you know, you get an idea of what's required. And I think the visual artists probably have a really good idea of this. If you have responded to call for entries, you've had to give specific names to your file. You had to have a certain resolution and all of that. And so this will be, you know, very similar. Plus we'll want some additional information. Well, actually a lot of it's the same, a short description about what the piece is, what you want to sell it for, and so forth. But after you're accepted, after you're told that yes, you've got this period, then June will send you a tiny little invoice to pay with PayPal, and then you start providing your content to visual at WiVLA.org.
And we do the curating for you.
Go ahead, Marie. I'm sorry.
We do the curating for you. You don't have to worry about it. You just submit your images and we take care of it for you.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, you're going to learn a lot and it's going to be a great experience. And this really is a member perk that's going to be so valuable in this whole virtual age.
And right now, a lot of collectors are buying online, and virtual exhibits is the way to go.
Yeah. Marie's got the 6 months paid for with one sale. So yeah.
Just one piece I sold that last month covered my whole 6 months and then some.
Yeah.
Donna, it's exhibit.com and it's 2 B's. Exhibit with 2 B's.com is the platform.
With 2 B's, okay.
Yeah. BAA is using it for their virtual exhibitions as well.
All right, let's move on. Gretchen, you're going to hear more about this, but be ready. Be thinking about what you want to, what you would like to exhibit. Gretchen, can you give a really vague little update on the collaboration exhibit?
Right.
Collaboration show?
Yes. Y'all remember the compassion show, the collaboration show that was supposed to be live at the Holocaust Museum beginning in June? And for, you know, reasons we all know, it didn't happen. The Holocaust Museum has taken all our work. They love our work. They love the visual images. They love the writings, and they're in the process of putting together a slideshow of the images with selected readings from the various writings to go over that slideshow. And so we don't have a date when that's going live yet. It will be soon, but we don't know what soon means. But they're editing and all that. And we will have a book in the shop and books for y'all to either, you know, those of you who are in the show, you'll get a book, and the rest of you can buy books. And we'll have it in the shop, and it's all ready to print. We just want the date of the show to get into the book, and as soon as that's decided, it's going to print, and that'll be ready. So we're all just like, you know, ready to move. We're just waiting. So it'll be soon.
Good. No, Gretchen and Marie and Debbie and Melody, they're all keeping an eye on it. So as soon as they know and we have a date, things will be rushing to the printers and getting everything up and letting you know what we can do. And planning a lunch party too. So we'll be having having that. Okay, I want to mention real quick that we do have new dates for the previously ill-fated social media workshop that we were going to do 2 days after they closed the rodeo. So yeah, right when the COVID shutdown started was when we were about to have our social media workshop that had been so popular 2 years before. We've been planning to repeat it and improve it. And we were just a couple days away from doing it. We had to shut all that down. So we decided to do it virtually, and we are co-hosting with Clay Houston, which is another nonprofit arts group here in Houston that is very similar size and membership, and we get along great with them. So we're co-hosting with them, and the dates, you can go ahead and mark these down. We're splitting it to 2 Saturdays, so it's not a marathon in person like it was going to be. It's split over 2 Saturdays, October 17th and October 24th. You'll be hearing more about this, but those are the 2 dates. And the biggest news about this is it's free to current members. If you are a member, you can learn about 6 different social media platforms, the overview on one Saturday, and then the next Saturday is more hands-on. You go to each platform and you get going and you ask questions and all that. So this is something everybody needs, and we're sorry we didn't get it in March, but this is even an improved version because it's free to members. Non-members, hey, you can join or you can pay, or you can pay to join. So either way, but and then we will do that where we'll be recording all the sessions, and they will be available later, so you can re-watch these hands-on intense second Saturday ones. So anyway, so that's going to be in October. So we're finalizing some of the start and end times and all with Clay Houston in the next week or so. So we'll be getting all that information out, and we'll have a way for you to apply. Even though it's free, you do need to register. So that's my exciting news. Like you said,
Lee, mention the dates again.
Oh,
please.
It's 2 Saturdays, October 17th and October 21st. 24th. Yeah. So no, I wanted to make it clear it's not the second Saturday in October. We did the 3rd and the 4th Saturdays in October to avoid everybody who's going to be at Sawyer Yards on the 2nd Saturday. But this way, from your home, you can enjoy all these sessions, take notes, use your own equipment, and then the second one, be prepared to ask questions. And also, I'm excited about the way it's coming together. So that's coming up. You'll find out more. And then, like I said, Eco Fund, everyone who's eligible has been notified by email, and we've gotten entries in, and we have a couple more weeks. So those who have not responded, I will probably fire off one more email before our date where we check all the eligibility, but then we'll be rolling. And that meeting will be September 15th, is the September member meeting where we draw the Eco Fund winners. So watch your newsletter for all information. Things from the newsletter are going up on the website, so you always have the website for a resource also. If you need information, you can contact our board members. Anything can go to info@wivla.org, and I will shuffle it to, I'll delegate it to somebody. You can get Haley at newsletter@wivla.org. There's visual@wivla.org. What else? Literary@wivla.org. I don't see Ellen here tonight, but that's okay.
Yeah, Ellen's there.
There you are. Okay.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, she's got a different setting tonight. Good. Welcome. So there's ways to contact us if you have questions, if you have concerns or ideas for programming and things, because before you know it, it's going to be next year, and who the heck knows. So what's going on? Sally, did you have anything you wanted to say about programs, or are you?
Yeah, first bad news. The people who I'd lined up, Carolyn Dahl and Dixie Friend Gay, both cannot do it this year. But the good news is they would be very happy to do it early next year.
Yay.
So whoever, if it's not me, if it's somebody else, you know, I'll pass that on to, you know, who does programs. So I'm pleased that they're both committed to that. And then, yeah, the other ones I reached out to and never heard back from. But then I had the idea of looking at the Art League instructors. And there was some interesting people on there. Does anybody know Nyssa? Juno? Nyssa Juno? She sounds like an interesting possibility. So I've messaged her. And I hope to get back. She's a painter, illustrator, and designer. Studied at Anderson Art Center, and she was a Rice University authors, editor, composers, artist honoree. Wow. So, and she's illustrated several editions of Science, Pets in Space, which I think sounds really interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will reach out to other artists. You know, it's going to be short notice, but I'm pleading with them. So
yeah, we're looking for a September program. We've got the rest of the year figured out, but we had a little glitch here. And then we're always looking for programs. So I'm glad Sally was here tonight and was able to fill you in, because if you have ideas for programming, do you get email at programs@wivla.org, or does it need to? Okay, send your program ideas to info@wivla.org, and we will funnel them over to Sally so we can be kind of getting people lined up. It's always nice to know what's going to happen and have people, but I think a lot of people were kind of like, I don't want to do anything this year. They've kind of written it off, like Sally had mentioned earlier. So thank you, Sally, for your diligent work.
Well, just fingers crossed, everybody, that, you know, we can get somebody for September, because, well, I think that's all we need, really, isn't it, for a presenter? Yeah.
It is.
Just one. We just need one. Yeah.
I think that if it's gone, he has.
Okay. Who?
Sorry.
Did you just volunteer to present?
Who's speaking? Oh, okay. All right. And I see that Zita is on, but we don't have video or audio for her, so we can nominate her to.
Why is that? I'm not on.
You're not video, just audio.
Video.
And you don't put your video
What do
on.
I need to do?
Lower left.
You have a camera.
Things that looks like a camera. Click on it.
One person.
Well, yeah, well, I do, but it shows me just the person image. iPad Zita Hidalgo. It says I'm there, but I'm not showing.
You're just
don't worry about it. I can hear you all. That's more important.
Okay.
Can you see us? Because we want you to see Meggan.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay.
All right.
Zita, go up to the upper right, and there's a little choice of stuff up there, and you want to click gallery view.
Well, she has to click video first. Her video's not on.
Oh, well, but she's seeing Lee.
Boy, we need workshops.
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, thank goodness we're having a Zoom workshop.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to take your time.
Okay. I'm going to turn it over now to Gretchen, who brought Meggan to our attention as a creative woman with an interesting story to tell. So I'm going to turn it over to Gretchen, and save your questions for Meggan at the end of her, and Gretchen will help you. Gretchen?
Okay. All right. And Haley, are you going to enlarge Meggan's screen? Or enlarge it so, or not? Never mind. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Okay. I am so pleased to introduce our guest speaker, Meggan Shepard from Minnesota. I've known Meggan her entire life. Her mother and I were pregnant together with our kids. And I am in awe of the woman she has grown into. She is an amazing artist, and dance is her medium, and I just think she has a fascinating journey. So, Meggan, it's all yours. And you just muted yourself. You just muted yourself.
I think everyone's good. Can you, are we good?
Okay.
We're good.
Okay. I was gonna try to make myself bigger, but I don't know if I can. Woo! Here we go. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
So if we all use speaker view, then you are bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if everyone uses speaker view, then you're large.
You can pin the video. If you go to the three dots and pin the video, she'll pop up big.
Also, the host can do spotlight, so that way everyone sees her instead of each of us having to select her and pin video. Spotlight will show it for everyone.
Okay.
If whoever the host is.
It's Haley.
So now we see
know if that works because I just did it.
We don't see
Did you spotlight yourself or did you spotlight Meggan?
I just put spotlight. Let me see.
You show up.
Okay. Let me do this. So if I hit the three dots and I say spotlight video, do I need to just make Meggan the host? Because I can do that. And then she can turn it, because if I do spotlight, it just makes me.
Well, if you go to her three dots and where you do.
Oh, okay. I see. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh.
No, you're helping me learn too, because I don't know.
There we go.
There
I am.
We've all learned something. Yay.
Awesome. Cool. So, hello. I'm used to teaching class and saying welcome. So, welcome. Nice to meet you all. And it's really cool that Gretchen invited me to do this. I'm really, really, really grateful to you guys for having me and just being interested in learning about my journey as an artist and a dancer. So, I am going to start by sharing a video I made that kind of gives you a visual representation of my journey, and then I'll speak afterwards. And then if we have enough time and you want to see, I can show you a more recent performance with a fellow dancer of mine that was a live performance in Chicago. So I'm going to share a video, and feel free to kind of get up and get the blood flowing if you want to, because no one's probably going to be caring or seeing you. So feel free to wake up the booty, and I'm just gonna share my screen. So hopefully you guys can see. Can you see the YouTube coming up? Okay. So here are my students. Hopefully you can hear me over the music, but these are my beautiful students rehearsing for our student showcase. And we are doing our focusing lotus. So it's our moving meditation of gratitude. And we start off every dance and close every dance with gratitude. So that's very important for us, and it's one of the ways we connect. It's one of our favorite things to do together, and it's just very calming. So this is giving you a little bit of a gist of that. And then I'm throwing in a few pictures of me and my troupe, Olive Branch Belly Dance. And this is also what I like to do in my spare time. This is what I call noodling around, where there's no real structure or plan. It's just letting loose and having fun and being fluid. And my favorite place to do this is by the lake. It lends beautiful inspiration to me, and it's very calming. So before work or after work, you'll usually find me on some random dock. And for me, it's a cleansing experience as well to kind of get rid of the day. And we are the land of 10,000 lakes or something, so you can find docks everywhere. And here is my bonsai girls and my students, again, just having fun. And the new studio, a little bit more of us doing some fun dancing things. And now here is my student troupe, Olive Branch Belly Dance. So we are performing bonsai right now, which I will talk about later. But this is all done improvisationally, and we can follow and lead these movements and combinations and be able to dance to almost any musical piece right on the spot. Live music or recorded music. It gives us a chance to connect and be able to just dance with each other. Of course, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of working with one another, a lot of knowing what's going on to get to that point. But these ladies have been dancing with me for about 6 years now, so these are my more senior dancers. And this is our latest showcase that we had back in November. Most of my movements are named after nerdy things that I like, or magical things, or nature. So some of the things that we perform are like Gryffindor or Ravenclaw or Lord of the Rings. And then we have some other things like Omni Tsunami, and this one right here is Ravenclaw, one of the latest combinations that my students have been working on. So everything's based off of cues. So my students knew that when my arm went up on the 4, that I was going to start Ravenclaw on the next 1 count. So everything is derived from cues. You're cueing up the next movement to tell your fellow dancers what you're going to do. And then we all flow through that combination together. And then we go into a stalling movement afterwards. So I think this is the last reference of us dancing bonsai together. And we do it in a pyramid formation most of the time. So we work a lot with how our bodies are interacting with each other in formations and changing from pyramids to circles to pillars. Right now we're working in a circle formation, and this is one of my favorite ways to connect with the other dancers, because you're using a lot of nonverbal communication here. Because again, it is all improv. So we do not choreograph any of this. We practice a lot, but it's different every single time. So that's part of what keeps you on your toes and keeps the cobwebs out of the brain, is that constant, like, what are we going to do next? What's the leader going to do? And it's one of the most fun aspects of this type of dance. So the background girls are fading into what we call pillars, or a nice little chorus. And then me and my assistant Jenny are doing a duet now. So we're passing movements right now. And then we're going to cue that we're going to do Gryffindor right here. That means I'm going to do Gryffindor, and we're going to pass it. So passing in duets is a really fun thing and a whole nother like challenge to work with. But it's really fun if you have a friend that you really love dancing with. It's one of the most beautiful ways to connect with your friends. And it's just really enjoyable. So duets are one of my favorite things. And then when you get to duets, you can start doing dueling duets. And there's a few more pictures, and then Movement Garden Studio is our new studio. So, and I will, if we have enough time, I'll share a different one. We'll see how long I talk. I timed it, but then of course, when you do it live in front of other people, it tends to be a little bit different in the timing sometimes. So I'll try not to talk too fast. Alrighty, so as you know, I'm Megan, and I'm from a little town in northern Minnesota called Nisswa, very small touristy town. It's part of the Brainerd Lakes area. So if you're ever coming up this way, let me know, and I would love to dance with you. I began my dance journey when I was very, very little. I don't even remember what age. I just remember always wanting to dance and being too shy and uncoordinated to dance. I was in love with In Living Color. If anyone's seen that old show, In Living Color with the Fly Girls, and I think that's where Jennifer Lopez started off. But I always saw the groups of the ladies dancing in group, and I was just like, oh, I want to do that. But I just couldn't dance. So I joined karate, and I fell in love with karate right away when I was 7 years old. So martial arts is actually my foundation and where I started. I am still a martial artist to this day, although dance kind of took over. But martial arts really taught me my love of teaching. It really taught me self-discipline and technique, refinement, patience. This is where I really started to hone in on a growth mindset, that if I work at something and be patient with it and stay diligent with it, I can actually get it. So only because I can't do it now doesn't mean I can't do it in the future. And this was something my sensei really, really rammed into my head, and I'm very, very grateful for it. So the growth mindset really changed the way I look at everything. So that was very important. And then precision, technique, this was all the foundation of my style of karate. It taught me hard and soft movement, which I really loved and needed in my life. So, and it gave me self-confidence and strength and courage to take care of myself, which was super, super important. So that was when I was 7. And like I said, I'm still in karate to this day. I have a wonderful, wonderful karate family. They're very supportive of my dance life as well. My sensei in Okinawa is amazing, Tomasada sensei, and I can't say enough nice things about my karate family. But about 12 years ago, I went to my first Renaissance festival, and I saw belly dance for the first time. And it was being danced by a woman who actually had some curves to her and had some wiggle and jiggle to her. And she was beautiful and magnificent, and it just resonated with me right away. I could tell because I just started crying. I don't know if anyone else gets that, where they're like so touched and inspired that they just start crying and stuff. I get that sometimes. And when art is so good that you're just like, so I was like, I need this in my life. I really, really need this. I've always kept myself from dance. I never even danced at school dances because I was too scared and uncoordinated. I kept myself from being feminine in any way because I was kind of tomboy, and I just didn't really let that part of myself grow. So I went home, and then I waited for 2 years before I went to a belly dance class. So I was too scared, too wrapped up in body shame, and yeah, I just lacked the courage, and I just didn't believe in myself. So finally, I decided to go, and I drug a friend with me, And she was a really good natural dancer, been dancing her whole life, really, really great at it. So we joined, we fell in love right away. We joined American Tribal Style belly dance, which is amazing, and it was made in the 70s, and I can go on about belly dance history forever, but I'm not going to. But American Tribal Style was where I began, and I had amazing teachers that really nourished me and helped me, and they were truly one of a kind when it came to technique and refinement and just nurturing me as a dancer and as a woman. So it was like the first time that I felt like I had permission to be a woman and permission to let out my feminine side of me, like wearing skirts, twirling around in skirts, bearing my belly for the first time, which was a huge deal because I don't have a flat stomach. And then so on and so forth, actually performing, which I have horrible stage fright, so I never thought I would ever perform. So that was a huge deal for me, breaking through that barrier of performing. So my earlier years were very much based upon ATS. I was in a troupe with ATS for 5-ish years, Vespertine Tribal. But about a year into ATS, I really realized that I needed to create, because ATS is very structured, very rule orientated, and very black and white. I need gray area. I need creativity. I need to express myself in whatever way I feel needed at that time. So that led me to fusion belly dance. And fusion belly dance is where my heart and soul is at. That's where I really started to connect with dance in a freer, more liberated way, where I could really start to have the confidence to create some more of my own things. So I went into, I left my other troupe and I went into building my own self from the ground up and building the fusion from the ground up. And that led me into getting a scholarship for 8 Elements, which Gretchen was so kind enough to come and meet me in Portland for. So 8 Elements is a really prestigious intensive by Rachel Bryce, and Rachel Bryce is definitely worth looking up if you haven't heard of her. She is the mother of tribal style belly dance to me. She is my mentor. She is amazing. So she's been doing this for about 35 years, and I got the scholarship to go to Portland. And at that time I was really burned out and ready to quit. But since I got the scholarship, I was like, well, I need to do this now. So I went, and it actually changed me, like full on changed my life, changed my dance journey. Rachel taught me so much about not only culture, history, refinement, technique, communication, but she also, most importantly, taught me to really believe in myself. So you'll see this correlation of like belly dance or dance in general really starting to help me crack away and believe in myself more and more. So Rachel really, really helped me believe in myself and gave me the courage to come up with my own thing, to create my own dance baby. So when I came home, I created my own dance baby, which is bonsai belly dance. So, or bonsai dance, as we're gonna start calling it, bonsai fusion, to be more appropriate. So when I started creating bonsai dance, I really thought of, I was very much inspired by Rachel's style, which is Datura style, and then Violet Kind's style, which is fly fusion, and she is out of Mankato, Minnesota. If you want to look up Violet Kind, you won't regret it. She is my other dance mama, and she's younger than me, but she is a dance genius. Very fun person to work with, and between Rachel and Violet, they helped me really create this little dance baby. So From there, I really started to think of what I wanted to do with bonsai, and I wanted to incorporate my martial arts experience in with it. So, and my nerdness with it, because I really wanted it to be what I love. So that's where bonsai came from, and that has been my new thing that I'm focused on for the last 3 years. So still refining, still building it, but having the most fun I've had out of dance, probably throughout my dance journey, is building this dance community with bonsai, because it's meant to be a communal dance, as you could see from my videos. It's really meant to connect us together. So that was really what that was about. Oh, and now the child is coming. So I'll try to get through the rest of this really quick. So all over, dance has taught me a lot about networking, communication, finding my art in myself.
Figure out the Zoom thing.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, they're going to the back room. And it taught me about caring for others in a totally different way, because dance was really healing and helpful to myself and to a lot of people that I've taught and learned from. So having said that, since I loved it so much, I decided to start a studio, Movement Garden Studio, and lucky us, we started in March. So we were open for a whole week and a half before COVID happened, and I had to close the doors and think of different ways to do things. So we have been doing a lot of outdoor classes. Unless it's raining, we're outdoors, which will be great until about winter. We have been doing Patreon classes, and for those of you who haven't checked out Patreon, I'm gonna really quick share the screen once again so you can see. So I personally, for me myself, found that Patreon helped me organize things pretty well and get my art out there, even for people that aren't dancers. I have like a studio supporter and a tip jar, but then I have all the different levels for my students. So even before COVID happened, this was a really good idea to do, and I've been meaning to do this because we work with the vocabularies. So I can't say enough about Patreon. It's pretty awesome, and you don't have to do videos. You can do other things. Just videos is the best way for me to do it. But definitely check out Patreon. I'm just throwing that out there. And then Zoom, obviously. So I'm doing my first Zoom workshop on Thursday, September 10th. So yeah, I'm finally doing it. So it's going to be an intro to bonsai for anyone who's interested. No dance experience needed. But it's just going to be me also trying to feel out Zoom in a dance situation. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then in the fall and winter, I'm thinking I'm going to be moving mostly towards Zoom classes, because up here the snow gets to be like about that, and people are not going to be trudging in. So those are the things that I'm doing right now to deal with the COVID thing, and trying to be creative about other things that can go on in the studio that aren't necessarily dance. And then pretty much the only other thing I thought I would mention as a relatable thing is the different hurdles I've had to go through in this journey. And my main one is comparing myself to others. I don't know if you guys ever do that, but I'm always comparing myself. Yeah, not at all. So comparing myself to others is something that I've really had to work on, and it's become a lot better once I started to let that inspire me and not bring up feelings of jealousy. So I let that really take me on an inspiring journey and see what I can do to be more like them, but be myself doing it instead of being just like them. which I know it took me this long to figure that out. So that is my main hurdle, I would say. And then balancing work and family. So as you can see, I have a 4.5-year-old, and I love her dearly, but she always wants my attention. So finding that balance with them and having specific family days and family dates and devoting time to them and making sure my mind isn't on my work when I'm doing that has been something that I've been incorporating, trying to use to balance my life. And then for me, self-care is super important and essential. So I just realized that recently that I get really burned out and drained if I do not care for myself and give myself time. So whatever you need for yourself, it can be different for everyone. For me, I like to be alone. But for some people, they like to be around people. So finding that self-care routine, which sounds so cliche, but it's so freaking important. And I'm saying this just from experience, like that's the way I've been finding balance slowly, is making more time for myself, which can be hard to do when you have a million balls up in the air. So that about concludes, yeah, I think, I don't know, I wasn't timing myself, but that concludes my talking. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you, guys. Does anyone have any questions or anything?
I do. This is Melody. A great presentation, by the way. And I think we all have body issues and so forth. But I'm curious, is it typical with this belly dancing that it's improv, that you do improv and you work off of cues so that it's not choreographed?
So yes and no. So not really. I mean, in the beginning of belly dance, it was all improv. It was all improv up until the 1900s or so, and then they had to choreograph it to do Hollywood movies and such. So that was pure improv. Then it became very choreographed. Then in the 70s, Carolina Noricchio she created improvisational belly dance with with Masha Archer. So that's when improvisational group dance became a thing. So it's actually a fairly new type of dance. Mm-hmm.
Can you show the other video?
Sure. You guys want to see another one?
Let's see it.
So this one is going to be of me and my friend Stacy. She's dancing with me, and she's from Ireland. She's an amazing Irish dancer, and I love her very much. We did this via sometimes Zoom and working online, obviously. And then the one playing the ukulele is my assistant, Jenny, which she's danced in some of these videos. You'll see her, but she's amazing. And then this is in Chicago at Tribal Revolution, which Gretchen was there.
Yay! This is the one you didn't get to see. If she does the video, this is the one that Gretchen and I went to go see.
Really?
Yeah. We're just Jenny singing Dream a Little Dream. I hope we get to see it.
I think she's doing it.
Hello, guys. Lauren, can you mute yourself? Sorry.
My dogs heard your dogs too.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Wow.
The costumes are so beautiful. Do you make them or?
Well, some of it, actually a lot of it did make, like the headdresses. Stacy is known for making headdresses and loves to make headdresses. So she brought them from Ireland.
Wow.
And
gorgeous.
Huh?
It's gorgeous, just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's about, then the rest of the stuff we just kind of, some of it we make, some of it we find at thrift shops and such. That's part of the thing that I really like about it is we do more vintagey stuff. And like we were wearing a suit, which is a ancient Egyptian cloth. I think I left it on. Hold on a second. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, you sound.
There we go. I'm like, who's talking? Okay, there we go.
Okay.
But yeah, so a lot of our costuming is made by ourselves in this case, and then yeah, and then we of course can get some stuff from other people. That's part of the fun, is like once you get into the scene, you either start making stuff or you start liking to buy everyone else's stuff. And some of them, a lot of them are really true artists. So if you want someone who I would recommend looking at, who's a local artist around Minnesota, look up Bold Oracle. And she does amazing jewelry, headdresses. She's just an amazing artist in general. So yeah, that's part of the fun thing. I love costuming. I have an entire cabinet of costuming stuff. Like every time I go to a thrift shop, I'm like, ooh, this could be costuming. This could go on a headdress. This could go on a bra, you know? Yeah, I never knew how to sew until I had to start sewing for belly dance. And I've made most of my own belly dance, most of my own bras too. So from old bras that no longer worked for me. So that's a really fun, that crafting and costuming is a whole nother aspect of it. Like it's really fun.
So on the improv, so when I think of improv, I think of like one person moving and another responding to it. Is that what you're doing, or are you setting some, how do you know? Because it looks more choreographed than improv.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, well, we do stall movements where we're stalling and we're thinking about what we're going to do next. And then we do combination movements. So, for instance, here, let me get up and show you real quick. So a stall movement would be, okay. So for a fast movement, we do our bonsai shimmy. So I can be here and I can just be like, oh, what am I going to do next? I don't know. I can turn it, I can walk with it, I can travel with it, I can do all this stuff with it. But until I cue something, which in this case, when I step back on the 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, that tells my dancers that I'm going to do bonsai bumps and come forward with this guy. So it's all based off of these simple, they're supposed to be very simple cues. So I can be doing, as a slow stall, I can be doing my title talk theme, But I know as soon as my arms come up and I do this on the 5, 6, 7, 8, this is the cue that I'm gonna do Lord of the Rings. So, and since me and my students have practiced these things over and over and over and over again, we know it becomes ingrained in our muscle memory that as soon as this happens, we're gonna do Lord of the Rings. It's like ingrained in us. Same with, if this happens, we're gonna do Gryffindor next. If we go around the head, that means we're gonna do Slytherin next. So everything is queued up. So those little cues that happen on 5, 6, 7, 8 allow you to start a new combo on the 1. If that, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you toss the leadership between you and other people?
Definitely.
During the dance?
Yeah, that's part of the cool thing about it is once people feel more comfortable with leading, because that's one of the hardest things for people to do is lead. And but once they feel comfortable, then they can take lead and lead the other dancers. So we switch lead, and I never push leadership on anyone because it's a personal choice. They can just bypass it and pass, or they can do a few movements that they've memorized. I usually encourage that for the dancer for the first several performances is to, hey, I know I look great doing these 3 moves, so I'm gonna come up and do these 3 moves. So even though it's improv, that kind of gives them a little baby step into their enough confidence to lead something. But yeah, we do pass the leadership. So then one person isn't dancing the whole time in the front, and everyone comes up with their own combinations. And yeah, that's part of the really fun part. Because if it was me dancing up there the whole song, I would run out of ideas. I mean, I wouldn't, because I've had to do it for years because I've been the first person to do this. But I mean, ideally, it's nice to have that brain break and just follow someone dancing for a little bit and not have to lead. So that part is nice.
How many set moves do you have? Like you've got something called bonsai, whatever it was.
Yeah.
How many things like that do you have?
Well, that's a really good question. Right now, I'm still building the vocabulary, but I would say I have about 6 to 7 stalling movements, and then I have probably 20-ish combinations for people to learn.
Cool.
So, yeah. And we haven't even, I've only taught level 1 and level 2 bonsai. We haven't even gotten to level 3 or level 4, which I have planned but not yet taught. So, but I'm a big believer in getting down 1 really well before moving 2, and getting down 1 and 2 really well before you move on to 3. So, so that's why we are holding off, you know, until the right time happens for the other ones. But we have in those 2 levels, I think we have a lot of combinations and a lot of stall movements to pack in there. I think each level 1 has 10 combinations, level 2 has 10 combinations. And then level 1 has 4 stall movements, level 2 has 2 or 3 stall movements. And then we have a slow vocabulary that you do to slow tempo music, and then a fast vocabulary that you do to fast music. So you can switch between slow and fast. So, yeah.
Thank you.
So Megan, this is Melody again. When you do the improv, is the music the unknown? I mean, so do you know what music is going to be played?
It could be. So I'm a big believer that even though it's improv, if I know, like, I'm going to practice to that. So it's like for the showcase, we practiced to the songs that we practiced to several times, like dozens of times. So we knew the ins and outs of that piece. But I do dance to live music, and that is where it really comes into handy, because as long as you can find that beat, then you can dance to it. And even if it's a slower beat that just kind of has a melody, then you can still slow dance to it. So that is one of the coolest parts of it, is you can, I've done this several times where we've just walked into a place that was playing live music, like at a bar or something like that. And then I was with a girl that, like my assistant Jenny, and that was one of our most fun experiences. We went into a bar and there was live music and they were playing Tom Petty, which is my favorite. And we just started dancing. We were just like, okay, we got into duet, and like there was no one on the dance floor and it was such good music. And then we just started dancing and we were totally on, like we just nailed it. And it looked like it was fully choreographed. It looked like we went out there with a plan to dance to Mary Jane's Last Dance, you know what I mean? And then when we were done, people were like shocked and were like, what? Whoa, like where did that come from? And then we were like, bye, out of here. And we like we left without anything. So like that's pretty fun. And I did that with Fly Fusion. Fly Fusion is another improvisational group dance in Mankato. And we did that on St. Patty's Day. There's someone playing awesome like Irish music, and all the flyers just got up because we all know fly vocab, and we just like we formed a formation of like 7 ladies and just danced right there and knew exactly the language that everyone was dancing.
Awesome.
In ATS, I've danced with like 50 or 60 dancers from all around the world, where some people don't speak English and we don't know each other's languages, but we know our dance language. So we immediately could connect over just knowing this language.
Like a flash mob.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally. It's really, yeah, you could totally do a flash mob.
Yeah. And then you hand out your cards.
Yes.
My studio.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we have done. Yes. Here's a card. This is what we do. Find us.
Yeah. Wow.
I was, Megan, as a fellow Minnesotan, I know about up north at the cabin and being at the lake, and I just adored your movements on the dock. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will look at a dock with other possibilities from now on.
Yes. Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, that looks almost like Tai Chi, like a kind of going out and.
Yeah, I love Tai Chi and Qigong or Qigong. That's definitely found in some of my bonsai too, because it's that soft, fluid, like martial art that I really, really like too. And yeah, I love, and dock dancing is like so fun for me. I stumbled upon it because I was like, I'm just gonna, decompress, and then I fell in love with it, and then yeah, it's really weird though. I am shocked when I go somewhere and they are like, oh, I love your dock dances, and it's like someone that I never would think would watch, my dock dances, or I would ever like, you know what I mean? It's amazing what we connect with and stuff. Yeah.
I think that's great because it shows how it can be a group experience or a solitary meditative experience.
Yeah, that's very important.
I do want to point out on the event page for this meeting, Megan did post a video of dock dancing, and you can really hear the waves hitting the dock.
Yeah, it's one of my most recent ones. I think it's just from last week.
Yeah.
So, and you can find me on Instagram and stuff. And then I've been slacking, this summer because of COVID. I went into hermit mode, but there's a lot of lake dances on there from the past and stuff. So yeah.
I was particularly taken by a dance you did where the rhythm is marked with a gong, like it's definitely marked. And I could see how, after watching a lot of other YouTubes, that particular dance I found very new and so martial art-like. Can you leave us with that particular YouTube when you're ready to go?
Sure, I can do that. The one that I just played for you?
Well, I don't know if they're ready to let you go, but I thought I would like to watch it if you have it handy.
Okay. Yeah, I will do my best. I'll post it on the event page. Would that work?
Okay. Yeah, it is fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Meggan, are you on Twitter?
Huh?
Are you on Twitter?
I'm not on Twitter.
Okay,
yet.
you're on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just on Instagram and then Belly Dance by Meg on Facebook. If you're on Facebook only, then my Instagram things will go over to my Belly Dance on Meg.
And your Instagram is Meggan007, correct?
I think so. And Meggan with 2 G's, as you can see on the thing.
Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any other questions? Okay.
Your attitude.
Wait. See, we're down here pretty much in Houston. Have you discussed with Gretchen where we might go to kind of start to learn about belly dance, or go and take an introductory or something? Is there a studio here in Houston area you would recommend? Or maybe
I don't know.
Figure it out with Gretchen.
Your YouTube, maybe her YouTube class.
Yes, I've known a couple in the past, but I don't know if they're open right now. But I think I am going to sign up for her Zoom classes, her Zoom beginner classes. And what did you say your first one was going to be September 10th?
Yeah, my first Zoom workshop will be on September 10th. So that'll be me, just doing, I think it's an hour and 15 minutes or so.
Okay. Can we find information on your website?
Yes, it is on my website. When you push take a class, it'll say Zoom, and then I will be emailing a link when it gets closer.
Okay.
And then I have the Patreon ones if you want to just learn any of the basics. I have the itty bitty basics that are really short.
Yeah,
and
that sounds like a good way to get started.
Yeah, it's a really it's just really nice and concise and short and sweet. And then I have the ones that are longer combos. So once you learn the basics, or if you already know some dance and you're like, you're good, then you can do like the combos and stuff like that. And then also I recommend Datura Online to all my students. So if you're looking for like world class, all styles of belly dance, Pilates, yoga, then Datura Online, and they are amazing. They're my main tool that I use for myself personally. And then, like I said, I recommend it for every student that comes into my classroom.
So you mentioned that there's a lot of, it's way too long to explain, but you called it what, Native American or
There are some Native American aspects in, so that's where the tribal to us means group.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the American tribal style in this case means group. I'm not sure. I would have to do some research. Most of our stuff, our movements come from India, Turkey, Egypt.
That's what I would think of. That's what,
exactly.
I know that belly dancing isn't what people think of it.
No, it's just belly dance is rock sharky. That's rock sharky is just folk dance. So belly dance is just folk dance, and then Hollywood sexualized it and made it all Hollywoodish, which then very much inspired belly dance in the 1920s, 1900s. That's what made it very sequiny and bright and very like sexy, because they were dancing for the Sultan and stuff like that. But before that, it was very earthy and folky, and men and women danced it, and most of the time bellies weren't bare, you know. So yeah, and that changes according to different cultures too. So and then the movements change according to different cultures. Like an Arabic will be different in one culture than in another culture. Like an Egyptian Arabic is different from a Turkish Arabic, because of the different body parts that they move and the different emphasis, different music. So that's like a whole nother fun aspect of belly dance.
Meggan, my husband is from Iran, And so although belly dancing is more attributed to the Arabic community, there's a lot of hand movements, you know, that is in belly dancing, that is in Persian dancing. They dance more with their upper body, and so with their arms and everything. So I thought that was interesting.
That's really, and it's such beautiful dancing. It's so gorgeous and powerful and fluid from what I've seen.
Okay. Well, Meggan, I think you have one of the most beautiful bellies I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
And we thank you for opening up your world to us. And I would like to say a quick little hello to Brent and Olive in the background. You're showing us a slice of your family life.
He's making dinner right now for me.
Yeah.
Waving you with corn.
Oh, and Olive's dancing. And thank you. Thank you. I mean, you just shared with us an artist's journey, and we can all identify with that.
Thank you.
That's
give her a little.
And you did. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, you guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Meggan. It was a pleasure to see this. Thank you so much.
I hope to connect with you guys in some other way sometime soon.
Yeah, send us links and keep in touch with us. And if you ever come down, oh man, can we have a special lesson?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to do that. I would love to see your artwork too.
Well, you can follow us on WiVLA.org. So
yes,
we'll have a virtual gallery.
Yeah,
yeah, right. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Meggan. It's
Thank
been a
you.
Pleasure.
Have a good
Everybody,
night,
wave
guys.
to Meggan.
Bye.
Bye, Olivia, darling.
See you later, guys.
I love you. I hope sometime.
There we go. Okay. I think we're just gonna wrap up right there. We have kind of covered all of our announcements. Your newsletter will be coming out, so I don't think there's anything else we really need to cover. Anyone?
Well, I'm just looking to see everyone that was on here. I think, okay, her mom, my best friend, other than my husband, was on here for a little bit. She was the one with the dogs, but I think she logged off. I wanted to introduce her.
I think our high total was 28 participants.
Oh,
so that's
beautiful.
very nice. Very
Yes.
yeah. So I want to thank everyone who took the time today.
Enjoyable.
All right, Susan, we'll see you everyone. Watch your newsletter. Contact me anytime, any concerns, and thank you all the words for all
Sign up for the virtual gallery. Sign up for the virtual gallery.
Yes.
Okay.
Watch.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
There's Sina.
Happy birthday, Lane.
Thank you, Sita.
Yeah.
Hey, Sita.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Haley, for hosting.
No worries.
Anna, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.